Yo. So back with another video, 3 for 3. So this is an interesting video, man, that I just came across because I think it was last year at the Video Game Awards. Snoop Dogg, came out with saying he's starting his own video game company, and like I had like first of all, this is all for my '90s babies, man. If y'all remember, how many of y'all remember Fear and Respect? That game Midway supposed to come out like back in the early 2000s. Hold Still my nigga though. Anyway, Fear and Respect was a game that starts with Snoop Dogg playing as a character named Goldie, and it was written by John Singleton, right? And like for some reason, the game got canceled. It got scrapped completely. And like we never heard about it again. And this basically like come from like another game that Rockstar trying to put out, which is Agent. Everybody know what Agent is. I'm not even gonna explain it. But yeah, like so this is a whole video about that game. And at the end of the video, I'm basically going to like trying to do a theory that probably can work. All right, let's go.
He's making his move in the video games by directing this mind-blowing new game that I'm starring in. You know, and Midway Games is letting me give you an exclusive preview of it right now. Didn't I tell you Spike TV had the mad hookups?
All right, so you guys know that we love to explore some canceled games or dive a little bit deeper sometimes. And
Yeah,
one that has really caught my attention for
like
a few months now has been Fear and Respect. And it's one that I've wanted to get around to.
me and my brothers, like man, like we was really into like anybody man who grew up during the whole PlayStation 2 era, man, or PlayStation 2 or Xbox era, man. Like that's where everything back in the early 2000s was lit. And I remember when they announced this game, I actually found out from my cousins. My cousins, they had a computer. I didn't. Dial up and shit. And like, he was talking about it, and like, we saw a video on IGN. We saw a whole video on IGN. It was like, oh shit, that shit was like San Andreas. And I was like, yo, man, this shit gonna be hard. And it was written by John Singleton, the late John Singleton. Yeah, man, like we was hype, and to come to find out that it was canceled, it was kind of a letdown, bruh. And especially, when they had all the gangsta thug games that was coming out in the early 2000s, like 25 to Life. What's that racing game? It was a racing game. 187. Midnight Club. Anything that's in LA, bro. Anything that's in LA was hidden different in the early 2000s.
And we finally were able to do so. So, in the mid 2000s, during a massive surge of open world crime games, which of course was inspired by the success of GTA San Andreas, a
Yeah.
new game was about to release with ambitions to kind of leave its stamp on the market. It was titled Fear and Respect. The project was announced in 2004 by Midway Games and immediately drew attention for its unique creative direction and its cultural focus. Unlike
Like this will forever be. This is like close to when Cardi Cancun got leaked online, and like niggas was play that leak, or Kid Cudi slash Pissy Pampa. Like this is like that was the Cardi leaks before the Cardi leaks. Well, it's not really a leak. It was more like a trailer, but still. Like this was an iconic trailer though.
Many of its competitors, the game aimed to deliver a more grounded and cinematic portrayal of life in South Central Los Angeles, blending interactive storytelling with influences from film and hip hop culture, and film being the key element here. At the center of Fear and Respect was a collaboration with Snoop Dogg, who would lend his likeness and voice to the main character, Goldie. The project was even elevated more so by the involvement of John Singleton, the
Like they had like I remember like going online, they had like characters, they had like the layout. They you even saw some combat in this game, bro. And it was like it was like ready to go. And I was like, yo, like they just cancel it, bro. Like it still bugs me out to today. But I'm gonna give y'all a fucking theory or just an idea of what they can do to get this jump back off.
director from Boys in the Hood. Singleton's role as a creative force behind the story was a way to bring authenticity and emotional weight to the game's depiction of South Central life. Players would have to navigate a world where their choices
Too
influence
many
how they were
Glockies.
perceived by others, building either fear or respect amongst the people around them, which obviously hence the title. At the heart of the experience was a story on survival, identity, and power within a ever-changing landscape. Players would take on the role of Goldie, a young man navigating the complex social and territorial dynamics of South Central LA. The narrative was designed to reflect real world pressures where every decision, whether to resolve conflict through violence or taking the higher road, would shape Goldie's reputation and relationships. Rather than following a strictly linear storyline, the game intended to offer branching narrative style.
Yeah, I feel like this would have been like this would probably be like a story like saying not San Andreas, Cyberpunk. It probably gonna probably had that like RPG element to it.
Allowing players to define their path through alliance and their war against rival gangs.
See,
Themes of
look,
loyalty, consequence, and community were expected to drive the story forward, presenting a more
they already had the
personal
characters
story,
locked in, bro.
especially one that maybe at the time these crime games weren't taking. Now, beneath the surface of this different design, Fear and Respect faced a series of challenges that would ultimately lead to its cancellation. By the mid 2000s, the open world crime genre had become increasingly crowded, with Rockstar Games dominating the space, obviously through GTA San Andreas, GTA Vice City, true crime was around, and it
True
was
crime,
really
yeah, true crime.
competing against an established franchise. And this would place a immense pressure on basically any new entries, especially those that attempted to
Nigga, they got G's in here. They was gonna have G's in here, bro. Rip Blood, Ice Lords, G's, Latin Kings. Yo, man, this shit was gonna be a fucking. This shit was probably gonna do something. Why it look like Jay Z up there, bro? That nigga look like Jay Z on top. Yeah, yeah. This game was gonna be a problem. If it came out, it'll like what if it blew San Andreas off out the water? You know what I'm saying? That's a big ass what if, right? Exactly.
innovate and change the formula that was already pretty successful with different audiences. Now, at the same time, Midway Games was navigating some internal and financial challenges. The company was investing in multiple large scale projects during a period of transition, a lot of people would say, in the gaming industry. As developers began shifting focus towards more advanced hardware and rising production costs, the loom of the next generation was also over them. This shift made ambitious narrative driven games like Fear and Respect increasingly risky due to their nature nature and how overcrowded it already was. The problem was that development began to
Fizzle.
slip, and reports suggested that the
Why the
project
fuck they
experienced
put Fizzle
delays
on
and
there?
struggled to meet internal expectations, both creatively and commercially. There were also indications that the game's identity, even though it was different, posed a lot of challenges. Its grounded, more film inspired approach and emphasis on realistic themes limited its mass market appeal compared to the more exaggerated and chaotic tone of something like GTA. In an environment where publishers were prioritizing more commercial success, I think this contributed a little bit to the game's cancellation. So by 2006, the combination of market saturation, internal pressures, development hurdles led Midway Games to silently cancel the project. Now, again, no single factor was cited as the definitive cause of the cancellation, but the decision went on to show that nothing was guaranteed, even when you had a big name attached to a project. So I
If that
think that Fear and Respect was
if that was the case, then why put so much effort into making a trailer plus characters and like in some of the unseen gameplay, in the fucking book. If y'all didn't want to put no effort to it, y'all didn't want to put a lot into it though. I don't understand that.
a unique looking game. It was a game that definitely reminded me a lot of something like GTA San Andreas, but having Snoop Dogg in there and having someone like John Singleton a part of the project maybe could have brought something different. It could have become a classic. It could have been one of those games that we talk
Like
about
look,
today
look
and
at the
remember
gameplay.
fondly if it were to have released. I
And
think
this
even though the
and like this is beta. This is basically a beta game. This is in beta. Cause look how Ash. Well, it's 2006, but like look how you holding the gun. So like yeah, I'm not saying like the game was finished, but beta.
market was saturated at the time, I think it could have found a home. I think it really could have. I mean, if things like True Crime found a home, if things like Scarface found a home, if the games like The Godfather found a home back in the day, I really believe that something like this could have. I don't know. Maybe it was too close to San Andreas. Maybe, San Andreas obviously would have probably blown it out of the water still, but this could have been maybe a more intimate, personal take on the world. I don't know. It seemed very interesting, and it was something that I wanted to dive into a little bit deeper. So I hope you guys enjoyed. What do you think of Fear and Respect? Did you know it was out there? Were you excited about it when it was coming out? And are you disappointed that it never got to see the light of day?
Yeah, like I feel like that it will have its own wave, bro. A John Singleton story. Come on, man. You can't even like he made Snowfall. He directed Baby Boy. I think he did Waist Deep. I think he did Waist Deep. Yeah. So now we at the end. So let me break it down for you. What if Ryan Coogler, Ryan Coogler, right, and Snoop Dogg, man, put that together? If they can bring that back together, start fresh, start Unreal Engine. The developers. Who would I think? You know what? I'm not even gonna cap. I'm not even gonna cap. This might be pushing it. What if Ryan Coogler take John Single's script, right? And then he, put his original script in there, and put his own like, mix it up, have that combined and shit. And what if Rockstar, Rockstar fucking takes on that, right? Just has a story, not no online shit. No, no, just the story itself. Cause or Volition, deep deep silver. Well, yeah, mainly deep silver. Volition can come back if they can. Like I said, it's just a theory. We got Ryan Coogler on the ones and twos. You got Snoop behind it, and then you even have Oh no, not Deep Silver or Rockstar doing it. Like, tell me that won't be a fucking banger. You can't tell me that will be a motherfucking banger, my nigga. Like, that shit will probably feed families, bro. Like, if the shit if it wasn't like in, I won't even say if it was still in 2006. You can still, put modern, yeah, and you could put a modern twist on it. Yeah, I wouldn't even be mad. I wouldn't even be mad if y'all just took it back to '06. Yeah, man, but like that's just my theory right there, bro. I feel like on the real, shit will feed families, man. That would probably be a groundbreaking story, bro. And the gameplay, nigga, ain't no telling, bro. Ain't no motherfucking telling. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about this video. I just wanted to look at this video with y'all, man. And if y'all had any, discuss down the fucking discuss in the comments what y'all think. Like I said, these are all just theories. And other than that, I'm gonna catch y'all, man. Y'all be easy, all right?